Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our second event in Clubhouse for our internal debate competition. This evening, we will be hosting two debates, and we have Team 1 and Team 4 starting us off today with the resolution, should all students learn Spanish from primary school age? Now, before we commence, just to give you a bit of background, I am the class, what should I say? I don't like to call myself a teacher, but coach rather, and have been with your kids, some of them for 8 weeks and some of them for 4 weeks. Within that time, they have done an exceptional job of absorbing a lot of information, and today we would see them apply all that theory that they have absorbed into a battle, albeit a well-balanced and poised battle. I firmly believe, as Joseph Joubert said, it is better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. And today we will see that quote come to fruition as the children debate and present their arguments today. For just a bit of house rules for all the audience members, if we could get you to turn your video cameras off, that would help our students feel a bit more at ease as they present their debates. For the debate style in Clubhouse, I have adopted a unique format that drew from a variation of styles of debate. If anyone knows anything about debate, there are several different debate formats, and I drew some key parts of each style, primarily 3 styles, in order to draw out and bring out the best of the students and to enhance student participation during this course. We will have 3 judges this evening who will be scoring each team member as they present, and then we will announce the overall winner at the end of each debate session. The key part of the debate is not just the presentation of constructive arguments, but also look out for rebuttals and or refutation or the clash or attack of arguments. And that is substantially what makes a debate different from public speaking. So without further ado, we will commence. For Team 1, we have Team Captain Anushri. We also have Zachary Fulchen, as well as Naeem K and Nival. And for Team 4, which is the affirmative team, we have Joshua, Jazara, and Team Captain Laura Lee. They will speak in turn with the first affirmative starting. The first affirmative we have this evening is Jazara Lebab. Each participant will have 4 minutes to speak. This evening we have a slight variation. Each team usually has 3 members, but because we have an odd number in our participants, Team 1, the opposition team, has 4 team members. However, 2 of them will be acting as the first negative speakers, in which they will be sharing the 4-minute allocation time to present their speeches. So we shall begin with the first affirmative speaker, Miss Jazara Lebab. Jazara, you can commence when you are ready.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, Opposition, Judges, and audience. My name is Jazara Lebab, and the topic for today's debate is all children should be required to learn Spanish from primary school level. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is accurate. My points for this topic are: 1. Benefits of learning a new language at an early age. 2. Education. And 3. Better opportunities in life. There are many benefits from learning a new language, such as Spanish, from an early age. A study undertaken by York University in Canada suggests that bilingual children's knowledge of a second language gives them an advantage in learning to read and develop better. A number of research studies from the Spanish Immersion Workshop has also shown that learning a second language at a young age helps develop strong cognitive skills such as a better concept formation, mental flexibility, multitasking, better musical skills, listening skills, and problem solving. Also, improving social interaction and encouraging connection between peers. Education. Ms. Darcel Dudna, author of Hola, Spanish for Caribbean Primary Schools Year 1, written by her as a solution to get children, but more importantly teachers, excited about learning and teaching Spanish in primary schools in Trinidad and Tobago. She said, quote, "We are supposed to become a country that speaks two languages, and education should be geared towards bilingualism. Spanish is on the curriculum from infants at 5 years to Standard 5, 12 years. In the higher levels, Standard 4 and 5, Spanish takes a backseat because of the essay examination preparation, but teachers generally are not trained and may have no experience with Spanish. That makes them apprehensive to teach it, especially regarding pronunciation," unquote, in a Business Day interview. Why Spanish? Spanish is a widely spoken language throughout the Latin America region in which we live in. Therefore, it would be easier to communicate with neighboring countries and territories. Numerous reports have proven that students who have studied a foreign language perform much better than their monolingual peers on many standardized tests. In fact, the 2007 College Bound Seniors Report issued by the College Board, which administers the SATs, shows significant benefits of studying a foreign language from a young age. The report shows that students with 4 or more years of foreign language study scores on average 140 points higher out of 800 than students with half a year or less experience. In 2008, the Center of Applied Linguistics conducted an extensive survey documenting foreign language study in the US and the most popular language being Spanish, due to the large number of recent Spanish-speaking immigrants to the United States. According to this survey, in 2008, 88% of language programs in elementary schools taught Spanish. In Norway and Italy, learning a foreign language starts at age 6, in Sweden at the age of 7, and in Belgium at age 10. About half of the European Union's primary schools pupils learn a foreign language as part of their compulsory education. Better opportunities increase from early. Nowadays, learning another language from a young age increases a child's understanding if they are given the opportunity to travel, as there are 9 Spanish-speaking countries in the Caribbean and Latin America surrounding our country, Trinidad and Tobago. This would help our children in the future for more job opportunities across the world, seeing that they could already speak a foreign language. Later in their education, they may have a chance to go to a good university abroad because they know how to speak another language. A successful life starts with a good education. After all, knowledge is power. Wouldn't you want the best for your kids? Madam Chairwoman, judges, and members of the audience, in conclusion, we believe that all children should learn Spanish from as early as primary school. Thank you.
Thank you, Jazara. We will now have the first speakers from the opposition team, which would be the first negative. Opposition team captain.
Madam Chairperson, may we have 1 minute prep time?
1 minute
Please.
Prep time? Sure. Your 1 minute prep will commence when During this time, the teams were preparing their rebuttals. They are now back. So for the opposition team, the first negative, we will have 2 speakers sharing the 4-minute time allocated. We have Naeem K and Zachary. First negative speakers, you may commence.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will be talking on the topic, all primary schools should teach Spanish. The approach is educational, cultural, and historically. The ages of primary school is 5 to 12. Spanish should not be a topic in primary school education because it causes cognitive problems. They learn slow and less because their brain would be particularly adapted to grammar, mathematics, etc. This causes extra stress to the pupil because not all students can read well. Learning a different language should not be put in place while the pupil pronounces its own country's language, English, wrong. They develop each language at a slower pace because their learning is spread across 2 languages. Secondary schools are better because they get various subjects in their tests, whereas the secondary entrance assessment, SE, only has grammar, creative writing, and mathematics. Learning Spanish at a young age would be useless because the child may not learn anything due to distractions. In addition, they would not be able to process the information. Spanish is taught at secondary schools, which makes it unnecessary to teach it at primary schools. Spanish has been taught in secondary schools for decades, and the system of is successful. CXC and CAPE includes a Spanish test, which the students would have prepared for. Afterwards, they would qualify for a university if they wish to go further in Spanish. Interfering with the Spanish topic in secondary schools will affect the case of a pupil going to a Spanish-speaking country to study.
Thank you, Naeem K. We now have Zachary that will finish off the 4 minutes allocated time.
Miss, it's actually Nival who is
Nival,
supposed to...
sorry.
Okay. Hi, judges, Madam Chairwoman, and participants. We are close to Venezuela and South America, but look at other aspects of our geography. We are close to Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana, so should the children also learn Dutch and French? We have also parts of the Caribbean and the West Indies, but we do not make the children learn other Caribbean dialects and languages. We have our own languages that children do not even know. Example, Trinidad dialect, Patois, Creole, Standard West Indian English, and our primary school children are not taught these. Spanish is one of the most spoken languages internationally, but it is not the main, so why not teach the main one or one of the other major languages? Even if it is one of the main, the children are not international businessmen or travelers going abroad without their parents, so they do not need to learn Spanish, the adults do. Even if it is a main language, we have technology to help us. Example, Google Translate, so the children do not actually need to learn Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you, Nival. We will now have the second affirmative speaker, Joshua Jackson.
Madam Chairwoman, may we please have 2 minutes prep time, please?
Your 2 minutes prep time will commence when you see the breakout rooms.
Thank you, Miss. Madam Chairwoman.
We have this parents' evening coming up for all of our current parents in Clubhouse on Saturday at 6 p.m. We do encourage you to join us for a very, very relaxed evening, an evening of learning. I don't know if any parents from former participants joined the last event that we had for parents, but it was very calming. We learned a lot, had some fun as well. So please do RSVP at admin@in Clubhouse or confirm by sending a text on the number that you see, 222-9292, and we hope to see you there. We also have the fun night for the existing participants of In Clubhouse this Friday, so tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. as well. So please also RSVP your kids to get that information of the virtual fun night as well. We welcome back our teams for the second affirmative speaker. The second affirmative speaker for team 1 will be Joshua Jackson.
Excuse me, Madam Chairwoman, you're muted.
Joshua, you may commence.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairwoman, Opposition, judges, and audience. My name is Joshua Jackson, and the topic for today's debate is all children should be required to learn Spanish from primary school. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. And second speaker from the opposition team has tried to tell you that Spanish from primary school level is not important, especially as you don't use it until secondary school. Why Spanish? Why not another language like French? They've also told you that children may not be able to articulate the words well. To this we say, we believe that any time spent learning is no time wasted. Any subjects, whether it may be Spanish or English, should be considered beneficial, not just to pass an exam, but also for gaining life experiences. We also said that over 400 million people speak Spanish. My points for this topic are culture, society today, and popular languages. Culture. By learning Spanish at a young age, just like in primary schools, a child can grow up appreciating the Hispanic culture in a way that adults would not expect. The varieties of food, their religions, different dances, and lifestyle. The child can find him or herself immersed with being able to translate a menu at a local Mexican restaurant and experiencing different types of foods. Learning the language of a culture is the first step into understanding it better and why people within it do the things they do. For a child, this could be quite the experience. Society today. According to the UNHCR, the United Nations Refugee Agency, report dated March 2018, there is an estimated over 40,000 Venezuelans in Trinidad and Tobago. The total number for arrivals of Venezuelans in Trinidad and Tobago is much lower than that in many Latin American countries. However, as a percentage of its population, it has received more Venezuelans than any other country. Trinidad and Tobago, lying just 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela, continues today to remain a destination for many of those people seeking refuge. As the situation continues, if all children learn Spanish from primary school, it would be easier for everyone to communicate as a community. Popular language. An article published by Zamrad on June 18, 2019, The Most Spoken Languages in the World, states that Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world with over 480 million speakers. Mandarin Chinese being on top with 955 million people, and English coming third with over 400 million speakers. Speaking Spanish will soon become a way of life. If it's being offered to us in schools or in these modern days of online classes, why should we not want or appreciate that opportunity for our kids? Madam Chairwoman, opposition, judges, and members of the audience, thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. We will now have the second negative speaker of the opposition side, Zachary Fulton.
Miss, may we have 1 minute prep time, please?
You may have 1 minute prep time. Your prep time will start when you see the breakout rooms.
Hello, my lovely.
What does your students learn in basic illustration class?
In basic illustration, my students learn to take basic shapes, square, triangle, that sort of thing, and put them together to make recognizable objects or to make interesting people with nice characters. For example, in level 1, we try to recognize the shapes in other people's artwork so that's easy for us to recreate. In level 2, we take the stuff we learned in level 1 and we turn them into lively, whimsical characters with very silly, sometimes very expressive faces. And in level 3, we draw together, we learn from each other, we bounce ideas off each other, and in doing so, we learn to apply art to real life.
Question 2. Why is drawing important?
Drawing is important because it not only gives us a way to look at the world differently, it also gives us an avenue to express ourselves to other people, to learn things, not just drawing. Now you can learn anything through art, but do it in an exciting way.
Question.
Welcome back, teams. So we will now have the second negative speaker, Zachary Fulton.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairwoman, judges and teammates. I will first start with Joshua's. So he said that Spanish is the second most popular language, but I have to disagree with that because Chinese is the second most popular language in the community. So that is true, but the Spanish came. The Spanish, it's true, Spanish came to conquer and get our world, while the African slaves, Indian indentured laborers, and Chinese laborers came to work in the plantations and build up our countries. We have to look at the present culture. We have two major groups now, the Indians and Africans. It's more logical to celebrate their culture by learning Indian and African language. Example, Hindi and Yoruba. Secondly, the Venezuelans are refugees and it is good to help in times of emergency. But under legal legislation, they are only here for 1 year, after which they have to return to Venezuela. If our primary school students are taught Spanish, the Venezuelans will feel more comfortable here because even our children speak the language. This will be unfair to Venezuelans because we will make it harder for them to return and build back up their country for its own good. Thirdly, my worthy opponent, it is useful generally but not necessarily to a primary school child. They already have enough stress with SEA, so they should be taught subject skills that are more useful at primary level to make them learn and understand that school can be fun, creative, and enjoyable. Subjects like art, music, drama, PE, sports will teach the students that learning can be fun and creative will make them enjoy learning. Study skills to help students learn better and prepare for SEA high school, social skills and life skills. And finally, they should not be learning Spanish and they should be doing other things, such like in clubhouse activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Zachary. We will now have the third affirmative speaker. However, before the third affirmative speaker.
Madam Chairman, may we please have 2 minutes prep time, please? Thank you.
Your 2-minute prep will commence when you see the breakout rooms, and all team members, please be sure to join.
Thank you, Miss.
Welcome back, participants. Before the third affirmative speaker summarizes their team points, I would just like to point out that whilst parents want all their kids to do exceedingly well, please try to nudge them or encourage them by making gestures in the back so other participants will not deem it as giving an unfair advantage by providing information at this point. For students, I remember they must be flowing during each round of presentation of speeches. We will now have the third affirmative speaker, Ms. Laura Lee.
Hi, Miss. Good afternoon, Madam Chairwoman, Opposition, Judges, and audience. My name is Laura Lee Leatud, and the topic for today's debate is all children should be required to learn Spanish from primary school level. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is accurate. My opponent, Zachary, stated how Venezuelans are here for only 1 year. I disagree, because the United Nations report dated 2018 and we are now in 2020 and the Venezuelans are still here and they will possibly be here for longer. My other opponent, Zachary, also stated how learning another subject, especially a language, takes away from time from what another student has many other subjects and homework to be studying for, like SEA exams. I disagree. The beneficial aspect is very much rewarding. And when they do not enter into secondary schools, they will have the advantage of already knowing some Spanish. A study from the University of Chicago, not exposing children to Spanish is actually biased and prejudiced, as it is preventing them from being exposed to various cultures, better decision-making, and higher development in thinking based solely on age. These young persons are part of today's society, and the young can influence how society develops. As stated by my colleague Jazara, a successful life starts with a good education. And why not start at a young age? An age where children's minds are like a sponge, easy to soak up, collect, and store information. According to onlinefreespanish.com, learning to speak Spanish at an early age can help a child succeed throughout his or her life. As my other colleague Joshua pointed out about the influx of Venezuelans here in our country, many of whom are children and are already attending primary schools, there's almost a guarantee that your child will have Spanish-speaking friends. As time marches on, this certainty of interaction with Spanish-speaking individuals will multiply, and having prior knowledge can help your child develop a new world of possibilities for social interaction and employment opportunities. I quote, "Lo hermoso de aprender otro idioma es que nadie te lo puede quitar," which means the beautiful thing about learning another language is nobody can take it away from you. Madam Chairwoman, Opposition, judges, and members of the audience, in conclusion, our team is strongly convinced that learning a Spanish at primary school is much more beneficial than any of the disadvantages as argued by our opponents. And so we believe that children should be required to learn Spanish from primary school level. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura Lee, for your impassioned summary. We will now have the third negative speaker, the captain of Team 1, Ms. Anushri.
Madam Chairperson, may we have 2 minutes prep time, please?
Your 2 minutes prep time will commence when you see the breakout room appear on your screen. So cycle 4 starts next week. If you all have any questions or would like to enroll any of your other children in cycle 4 class, we have debate, as well as a new course, which I will be covering, developing research skills, which is critical and key as part of being a resilient public speaker as well as debater. It will also help your kids improve their essay writing and prepare them for secondary school and as well as university when the time comes to prepare those research papers and do all these exams and tests that they will be required to do as they further along in their educational life. So please, I implore you and encourage you to register your children. Classes are 4:30 on a Thursday for developing the research skills. It will just be an introductory class and something they could use to catapult them into a world of research. It will be fun, and they will enhance and expand their knowledge by taking this class. So I hope to see many of your children there as we commence week beginning 5th of October. So we are approaching towards the end of the debate. After the third negative speaker presents her arguments, summarizing her team points and rebutting and refuting other points made by the affirmative team, the judges will take a break and deliberate and come back with the winner of this round of the debate. We will then have our second round, which starts at 7 p.m.
Hello, my lovely.
What does your students learn in basic illustration class?
In basic illustration, my students learn to take basic shapes, square, triangle, that sort of thing, and put them together to make recognizable objects or to make interesting people with nice character. Example, in level 1, we try to recognize the shapes in other people's artwork so that's easy for us to recreate. In level 2, we take the stuff we learned in level 1 and we turn them into lively, whimsical characters with very silly, sometimes very expressive faces. And in level 3, we draw together, we learn from each other, we bounce ideas off each other, and in doing so, we learn to apply art to real life.
Question 2. Why is drawing important?
Drawing is important because it not only gives us a way to look at the world differently, it also gives us an avenue to express ourselves to other people, to learn things, not just drawing. Now, you can learn anything through art, but do it in an exciting way.
Question 3.
Welcome back, participants. We will now have the third negative speaker, Anushri Maharaj.
Madam Chairperson, esteemed judges, worthy opponents, fellow teammates, ladies and gentlemen. My worthy opponents would have us believe that the teaching of Spanish in primary schools is a good and sound proposition. My colleagues and I totally disagree. Our opponents claim it is easy for children to learn a foreign language, but that applies to younger preschool children. But Spanish at the primary level will do more harm than good, given the age of our primary students. Spanish is actually our third language. Developmental experts state that learning multiple languages slows and limits learning. Therefore, learning Spanish will negatively impact cognitive abilities. Our opponents cite proximity to Venezuela and South America, but we are close to to, or even part of several other countries, and we do not learn their languages. Look inside, not outside our country, at our major social groups to determine what language, if any, should be taught. The opposition team cited the presence of Venezuelan refugees in our country. We will be doing a disservice to Venezuelan refugees. After their legal year is over, we should influence them to rebuild their own country and not abandon it. The opposing team stated that Spanish is a widely spoken language internationally, but that fact does not affect primary students in their everyday life. Furthermore, why burden them with Spanish when technology, like Google Translate, can do the job? For decades, Spanish has been taught at high school and examined at GCE and CXE, and students go on to university and employment. So why change a successful education system? Instead, improve the English skills of primary students. We refute any claim that Spanish will benefit primary students. More beneficial would be study subjects that encourage creativity and inspire enthusiasm. Our rich cultural heritage is greatly influenced by the Spanish, but they came to plunder and they decimated our indigenous population. Therefore, it is unconscionable to propose teaching the language of the conquerors to impressionable children. Just as Black lives matter, Indigenous lives matter. Monuments to slavery are being torn down, and our opponents want, metaphorically, to erect a linguistic monument to our conquerors? Overemphasis on Spanish culture unfairly overshadows the contributions of the indigenous peoples, and over two major socio-cultural groups, descendants of enslaved and indentured ancestors who came as nation builders, not conquerors. This prevents students from truly appreciating our rainbow culture. The linguistic goals for primary students should be mastery of English, our official language, and if another language must be taught, address cognitive concerns and teach historically and culturally appropriate languages. Most certainly, let learning be a joy. Spanish will achieve none of these, therefore it should not be taught in primary school. Thank you.
Fantastic delivery, Anushri. Thank you very much. At this point in time, the judges will deliberate which team they felt persuaded them the most. All judges should have been impartial and hold no biases regardless of where their opinions may lie. If our audience members were persuaded that yes, Spanish should be something that your children should learn, please check out the Spanish course offered by In Clubhouse for ages 7 to 12 on Thursday and Saturday. Thursdays at 3 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 noon. If you were persuaded that indeed Hindi or Yoruba should be taught to our impressionable young children, then please get in touch with the administrators of In Clubhouse and see if they could offer those courses to your children as well, and I'm sure it will be something they may consider. So we will give the judges approximately 5 minutes or less to deliberate. Audience members, please feel free to discuss amongst yourself whether you think which team had stronger arguments and which team persuaded you more. As you can see on your screen right now, the information for the Spanish classes offered by In Clubhouse. That was one of my former participants, Ms. Sapna Joseph. If any of you have not seen our previous debate, that link can be shared with you all if you wish to view the previous date, which was approximately a month ago, if my memory serves me right. We will now have a poll for our audience members to participate. Which team, whether it was the affirmative team that persuaded you that Spanish should be indeed taught at primary school, or the negative team that highlighted the reasons why Spanish should not be taught from primary school level. The affirmative team was agreeing with the resolution that yes, primary school should be taught from Spanish should be taught from primary school level, and the opposition team were advocating that Spanish should not be taught from primary school level. Bearing in mind all the points raised by both teams, the affirmative team advocated for the cultural impact, the positive cultural impact, the positive educational impact, whereas the opposition team tried their best to tear down those arguments and rather advocated that other languages should be considered to be taught from primary school levels, such as Hindi, Yoruba, Patois, languages that we may not necessarily have taught our own kids from our own previous heritage. Okay, so we have the audience members think that the affirmative team should win. I hope those decisions were taken based on the arguments that you heard today and not our own individual biases. I think the judges are summing up their deliberations and will be announcing the winning team. I have purposely not judged the competition because I wanted it to be as fair as possible. We have 3 judges this evening. We had Miss Patricia Wright-Alexis, Miss Rosette, as well as Miss Afia. All judges have sat in on some of the debate classes. Rosette and Afia have moderated the debate classes, so they know exactly what to look out for and what is expected of the participants. Judges, have we reached our verdict?
Good evening, Madam Chair. We have. Before we deliver the results, we would firstly like to provide some feedback on our debaters this evening. All debaters were well researched in their offerings, and we do want to congratulate everyone for their presentations thus far. We appreciate your decorum while presenting, as well as providing substantive rebuttals for your opponent's feedback. Now I would like to present Afia, who will be delivering the scores and indicating why they were delivered.
Hi, good evening, everyone, participants and parents alike. Firstly, I would just like to say a job well done to all our debaters. You all were excellent. It was a pleasure to listen to you guys debate amongst each other on the topic. However, it came down to a very, very close margin, with the point difference being just 4 points between the winning team and the other team. So that is excellent. You really gave it your all. All speakers were very impressive. However, what drove it home for the winning team was their concluding argument, summing together all the points given by their team as well as the opposition. So with that being said, our winning team with a score of 80 points out of a possible 100 was our opposing team, Team 1, with members Zachary, Nayamke, Anushri, and Nival. So congratulations, guys.
Fantastic job with Team 1. Worthy winners. A substantial job to the affirmative team. You guys were very, very, very worthy opponents. For the negative team, I have no idea how the judges deliberated. Fantastic, well done to Captain Anushri. If I had to pick most improved speaker, I would have to pick Miss Anushri Maharaj. Congratulations, opposing team, for your win in this round. We have only winners. All of our participants did an excellent job. Jazara, Joshua, Laurelie with her Spanish in the final round. That's fantastic job, well done. Please be very, very proud of yourselves, and I hope you've learned from each other and taken on board all the points raised. We could have a debate off, we will discuss that in the future, but fantastic job, well done. All audience members, we invite you and encourage you to stay on for our second debate, which will be even more heated. Smokers should pay a health tax. That is coming up within the next few minutes. That should be a fiery one. If we have any smokers in the room, may listen to this. If our winning team decide to present this to Parliament to get them to implement this policy proposal, that would be something to be had. This debate is considered a policy debate, the second debate, because it's advocating for a change, and that change is to bring in a health tax. Will be quite interesting. All participants, we invite you to stay on to support your colleagues as they debate their resolution. and that will commence in a few minutes. Thank you for your time, and thank you for continuing to stay with us. I am sure our next participants are quite excited and eager to begin.
Hi guys, good night. So my name is Patricia Wright-Alexis, and I'm one of the directors at the In Clubhouse. I would like to again thank you so very much. Firstly, well done, great job to our future debaters and politicians and lawyers. Extremely well done. I have sat in the very first, in the earliest of the classes, and I've seen the progress. Guys, you all should be proud. Parents in particular, you should be so very proud. I keep saying I feel like a mother to all the participants here in Clubhouse. So when I see improvements, I tear up. When I see them ready to perform, my armpits start to get sweaty. So I could only imagine as their parents and as the participants, how you guys must feel. But excellent job tonight, guys. Well done to our instructor, Mr. Alicia. Excellent job as usual. To the moderators, well done on the back end, and to parents, just for your support throughout the last 4 weeks. I know for this debate course, it has been rigid. Right, we've had sessions twice a week and then extra sessions on the weekend, but I hope that you guys see that it's paying off. Congrats guys for balancing it, because here at the In Clubhouse, we really push holistic development and being able to balance all the activities, academics and extracurricular activities. So I think this was a great showing by our members as well as their parents for giving them the time and giving them the freedom to be able to explore the opportunities that we have here for them. So thank you so very much. We just want to ask you guys just to hang on for 3 minutes. Let's just have the other team, the other group for the other session prepare, give them some time to regroup, think about what they saw and how they can improve their current arguments. And we will be with you in shortly, perhaps 2 minutes. All right, so please sit back and relax at this point in time. I'm not sure if Liz, do you have that? I'd like to talk about our parents event that we have coming up on Saturday. If you are able to share that slide, if not, I can speak to it. But firstly, I'd like to address our virtual games night tomorrow. So we have listened to our members, and we have feed them. So the first virtual night that we had, we added some additional courses to give them a taste of what they have to expect in the next cycle. And we asked for some feedback after. The feedback was, listen, we're just here to play some games. All right, so tomorrow it's strictly games. So come ready for some fun, come ready for some excitement. And this cycle, we have a theme, our multiple intelligences theme, which is what the In Clubhouse builds our courses on. So we would learn about our unique intelligences, as well as the other ways, the other types of smarts that they are there. So please be sure to join us tomorrow for our members virtual fun night. Following that, on the Saturday evening, we do not like to leave out our parents. I am a parent myself, and I tend to get very involved. So when there's something for me, I love having the opportunity to be there. So on Saturday, we have our night for our parents. We want to extend this to any of your family members that you think might like to benefit from this. The lineup that we have would be firstly someone coming to speak to us about concentration tips for our kids, our children. We know that this is a time where they are spending a huge amount of time in front of the screens, and so we are here as parents and as the In Clubhouse to help you deal with how these kids might be processing this. All right, so some tips and some encouragement coming tomorrow from coming on Saturday from our speaker. We also on Saturday will have the In Clubhouse directors, myself and my co-director Wright-Alexis, available just to have a heart-to-heart to get some feedback, to just discuss or answer any questions that you guys might have for us. We've been doing this now for the last 3 months, so we know that there might be some feedback that we can take. We're always here to improve and to learn, and then that segment will be followed by some yoga relaxation segment. So we do hope, parents, that you are able to join us on Saturday. So we hope to see you guys then. Please be sure to RSVP. You can do this by responding to the admin at inclubhouse.com or calling us at the office 222-9292. All right. So is it that we are ready for our second portion of this debate event? I'll pass it over now to Ms. Alicia.
Thank you, Coach Pat, aka Kim, aka Patricia. So if parents know her by different names, it's all one person. We are ready for our second installment of our debate, and the resolution for this debate is smokers should pay a health tax. For the affirmative team, let's make sure I get the affirmative team right and the opposition team. We are waiting for one more participant. Ethan, calling Ethan to the floor. Ethan, calling Ethan to the floor.
I'm here.
Ethan, welcome, thank you. Can we update Ethan's name for our audience members?
Update the name on the screen, so tip of video.
Okay. Thank you. So for the, let me get my notes here. For the affirmative team, we have Elijah, Kayla, and team captain Haley. And for the opposition or the negative team, we have Christian, Captain Ethan, and Jasira. The affirmative team will be advocating for the resolution, and the opposition team will be advocating against the resolution. We commence with our first affirmative speaker, Elijah. Elijah, you may commence when. Elijah, calling Elijah to the floor.
Yes.
You may commence.
Okay. Good evening, Madam Chair, opponents, and audience. Our topic today is, be it resolved that smokers should pay health taxes. Smoking is a practice in which a substance is burned and resulting smoke is inhaled and exhaled. For this debate, the substance that we will focus on is a cigarette. We put it to you today that cigarette smokers should pay health taxes. Health taxes are imposed on products that have a negative impact. For example, taxes on tobacco, alcohol, sugar-sweetened beverages, just to name a few. The compulsory contributions are in turn used to develop healthier populations and generate revenues for the government. The question that has to be answered is, what is it about cigarette smoking that demands the imposition of a health tax? Our point of clash for our arguments is social, because a health tax will benefit society. Argument 1. First of all, smoking is bad for the smoker's health and the people around the smoker. If they have to pay health taxes, there is a greater chance of them reducing smoking due to the expenses. Plus, it will add up to a better health care when the smoker is in need, which it obviously will be. Last, they pay for the inconvenience they have caused to people living and working with them. Information by debate.org. Argument 2. If people had to pay a health tax, there would be more money that you would have to pay if you did smoke. So if you didn't smoke, there is more of a chance that you will not get cancer. Cancer is a very deadly disease that kills hundreds of people each day. So therefore, I think that smokers should pay a health tax. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair, audience, and opponents. Thank you.
Thank you, Elijah, for your very poised delivery. We will now have the first negative speaker. Christian.
Chairwoman, judges, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Just 1 minute, your team captain had something to say.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman. Can I request 2 minutes to discuss with my teammates, please?
Sure. Your 2 minutes will commence when you see the breakout room.
Are we ready? Right, so let's go. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing our hands to our heart and taking our foot, we press it into our ankle, our calf, our thigh. Coming into this is our tree pose. And stepping back, right leg. Stepping back, left leg, lift and pressing back into our downward dog.
And what did you notice about Georgiana's mouth when she was making the mare face?
It was like a frown.
Yes, it was like a frown, like pass me straight with your rubbish, right? With a frown, the ends of the mouth curl downward slightly. You don't want to exaggerate and go like this because then that becomes sad.
Almost there, guys. 5 more. 5, 4, good Leon. 3, let's go Leo, let's go jump. 2, guys, I'm one of them, go, and up, yeah.
Just some information for you all of some of the other events, some of the other courses and activities that will be on for the next cycle. And registration for that cycle, I believe, closes on the 5th of October. I'm sure Coach Pat will correct me if I have gotten the date wrong, but I believe registration closes on the 5th of October. So please join us. So whilst the negative team deliberates, before their first negative speaker comes on, the objective of the first negative speaker is to set the tone for the opposition team, hopefully provide us with a roadmap of the direction the team will be going to persuade us that health tax should not be imposed on smokers. They should have approximately no time left. Welcome back, participants. We have our first negative speaker, Christian Hariku. Christian, your time starts now.
Chairwoman, judges, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this debate. The resolution of the debate today is smokers should pay health tax. Our argument focuses on tobacco chain smokers. Health taxes are placed on products that have a negative public health impact. Example, taxes on tobacco, health, and sugar-sweetened beverages. The purpose of these taxes is to attempt to result in healthier populations and generate revenues for the budget. Trinidad doesn't have a health tax on tobacco. However, employees pay health surcharge. Health surcharge is a tax which is charged on employment. Now we as today negative strongly believe that this is not true. But before we come to our actual argument, let us first state that scientists have proven that smoking has negative effects on the human body. Excessive smoke of cigarettes can have long-term effects and include risk of type 2 diabetes, risk of lung and other cancers, heart disease, and stroke. This was taken from medicalnewstoday.com. However, smoking is a personal choice and smokers should not pay health tax. I, Christian Hariku, as the first speaker today, will be talking about the social impact of our lifestyle habits, which are as unhealthy as smoking and has negative effects on the body, and also on how the taxes, such as health tax, is allocated in Trinidad and Tobago. Our second speaker, Ethan, will speak on these factors and offer rebuttals, and our third speaker will summarize our argument. My first negative argument is that just as prolonged use of cigarettes has negative effects, so too does the prolonged use of fast foods and alcohol also has negative effects on the human body. According to the study in the journal Health Promotion Perspectives and Food and Drugs Administration, prolonged use of fast foods include the risk of type 2 diabetes, various conditions such as strokes and heart disease. Evidence. According to the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, in 2015, about half of all Americans, approximately 170 million persons, have one or more presentable chronic diseases: heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes related to obesity, and overweight associated with the prolonged consumption of fast food. According to the study conducted by the Institute of Health Metrics and Evolutions, the HME, more people are dying from diseases associated with the consumption of fast foods than smoking. The study of the global burden of disease found that while smoking causes over 8 million deaths annually, deaths associated with fast foods are around 11 million people per year. Therefore, why are not people who eat fast foods not paying a health tax? Alcohol is a leading risk factor of diseases. Globally, with 1 in every 10 deaths in 15 years to 49 years old range, according to the Golden Burden of Disease study on health effects of alcohol. The study was done in 195 countries between 1990 to 2016 and was released in August 2018. Globally, drinking alcohol was the 7th leading risk factor of premature death and diseases in 2016, according to the study. Therefore, so why are not people who drink alcohol not paying a health tax? My second negative argument: why the health tax paid in Trinidad and Tobago? Will the health tax paid in Trinidad and Tobago be used for the Health Ministry and Health Institute's purposes in Trinidad and Tobago? Sugar tax was placed on beverages manufacturers in Trinidad and Tobago. The health tax does not go to the Health Ministry or institutions, but to the Consolidated Fund, according to the Exchequer and the Audit Act of Trinidad and Tobago, Chapter 6901. Chapter 8 of the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago at Section 112, subsection 1 says, all revenues or other monies raised or received by Trinidad and Tobago shall be paid into the and formed one consolidated fund. This means that if you collect health taxes, there's no guarantee that those taxes will be used for health benefits. Madam Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Christian, for your informed delivery. We will now have the second affirmative speaker, Ms. Kayla.
Madam Chair, can we have 1 minute prep time, please?
Your 1 minute prep time will commence when you see the breakout room pop up on your screen.
Thank you.
Are we ready? Right, so let's go. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing our hands to our heart and taking our foot, we press it into our ankle, our calf, our thigh. Coming into this is our tree pose. And stepping back, right leg. Stepping back, left leg, lift and pressing back into our downward dog.
And what did you notice about Georgiana's mouth when she was making the mare face?
It was like a frown.
Yes, it was like a frown, like pass me straight with your rubbish, right? With a frown, the ends of the mouth curl downward slightly. You don't want to exaggerate and go like this because then that becomes sad.
Almost there, guys. 5 more. 5, 4, good Leon. 3, let's go Leo, let's go jump. 2, guys, I mean, one more, the big bed, go, and up, yeah.
Welcome back, participants. We now have Miss Kayla Cox as the second affirmative speaker.
Okay. Good evening, Madam Chairwoman and fellow debaters. My name is Kayla Cox. And as smoking affects everyone around you, secondhand smoke affects everyone. Secondhand smoke is worse, while fast food only affects one person. According to the National Cancer Institute, the average cost of a pack of cigarettes is $6.28, which means a pack-a-day habit sets you back on $188 per month, or $2,292 per year. 10 years of smoking comes to $22,920 per stab, but depending on where you live, you could be paying much more. While $6.28 represents the average cost, prices reach well above that in areas where cigarettes are subject to a higher state tax as well as local tax. For example, smokers in New York City shell out around $10,067 per pack, which amounts to $320 per month. $3,895 per year, or $38,950 over 10 years to sustain a pack-a-day habit. Cigarette smokers should pay a health tax. Smokers should pay a health tax. Cigarette smoking is unhealthy for people and is the #1 cause of preventable diseases and death worldwide. Smokers should pay a health tax because the number of cancer patients would most likely decrease. Smokers would be less likely to smoke due to additional taxes and would improve the overall health. And the government would have lower expenditure rates towards the health treatments for smokers. Smokers should pay a health tax because an additional charge would hopefully help them consider quitting this unhealthy habit. Some companies do not hire smokers, so if they can't find a job, then they would not be able to pay for cigarettes or their higher health tax. So maybe it would make them more likely to stop smoking. It is someone's choice to smoke and they know the consequences of it. Ill health. If someone chooses to do something that could lead them in becoming ill, then they should be paying a health tax for it. It also harms people around them. So if these people fall ill from hazardous smoking, it isn't that person's fault, but the one who smokes. So they should be paying health tax. Cigarettes were smoked by over 1 billion people, which is nearly 20% of the world's population in 2014. About 800 million of these smokers are men. While smoking rates have leveled off or declined in developed nations, especially among men, in developing nations, tobacco consumption continues to rise. Taxing smokers could therefore be seen as both a deterrent to smokers as well as short-term income generation for developing countries. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. We will now have the second negative speaker, the captain of the opposition team, Mr. Ethan Fulton.
Excuse me, Madam Chairwoman, can I request 2 minutes to discuss with my fellow teammates?
I will grant you your 2 minutes. However, bear in mind, you only have a total of 4 minutes to deliberate throughout the entire debate. If you utilize the 2 minutes now, you will have no more time left to prepare for your final speaker. Would you like to reevaluate the amount of time you would like?
Yes, Madam Chairwoman. I will now change to 1 minute.
Your 1 minute will commence when you see the breakout room pop up on your screens. Okay, we're moving fast into our debate. I would just like to remind our audience members of the new course, the Research Developing Skills with Myself, that you can enroll your kids in to help enhance and improve or even start their journey in learning how to research for any number of reasons, and it will develop their passion and appetite for building awareness, gathering information, and acquiring further knowledge. I would also like to remind all of our viewers and audience members that these children have never ever been exposed to debating. They have never seen a debate before, apart from the one that few of us would have watched on Tuesday. And this is their first time debating, and even further virtually. So they have come a long way within 4 weeks, garnering from lots of different areas, from basic research, public speaking, as well as debating skills. So they are doing a fantastic job from knowing nothing about debating to actually attempting to debate today. So please continue to give them your ears as we cheer them on whilst they deliver their speeches. So the participants should be back. So we will now have our second negative speaker, Mr. Ethan Fulton.
Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, judges, teammates, and audience. My first negative point for this debate is no, smokers should not pay health tax. Most places already have rules that ban smoking in public places. Any person to smoke in a public place shall be charged a fine of $10,000. All smokers that have health insurance are already paying a higher premium, so I don't see the need to tax smokers. I got that. My evidence for that is from debate.org. Okay, and my second point for this debate will be smokers should not pay health tax because smoking lowers the risk of getting Parkinson's disease. Numerous studies have shown the uncanny inverse relationship between smoking and Parkinson's disease. Long-term smokers are somehow protected against Parkinson's, and it's not because smokers die of other things earlier. The most recent well-conducted study was published in March 2020 issue of journal entitled Neurology, far from determining a cause for the protective effect. These researchers found that the number of cigarettes smoked daily mattered for a stronger protective effect. Harvard researchers were among the first to provide evidence that smokers were less likely to develop Parkinson's in a study published in Neurology in March 2007. These researchers found the protective effect wanes after smokers quit. Because of this advantage for smokers, a considerable amount of money will be saved by both the health system and the smoker if there was no health tax. My third negative point is smokers should not pay health tax because smoking lowers the risk of knee replacement surgery. Surprising results from a new study have revealed that men who smoke had less risk of undergoing total joint replacement surgery than those who never smoked. A study from the University of Adelaide in Australia appears in the July issue of the journal Arthritis and Rheumatism. Knee replacement surgery was more common among joggers and the obese. Smokers rarely jog and they are less likely to be morbidly obese. After controlling for age, weight, and exercise, the researchers explain the apparent, though slight, protective effects of smoking for osteoporosis. It could be that the nicotine in tobacco helps prevent cartilage and joint deterioration. Therefore, with this apparent advantage, there would be saving in money. I would also like to, in addition to my points, I would also like to rebut against one of the points that the affirmative team has made when their point was, when there is a tax, it will cause smokers to stop smoking. My rebuttal for that is even when there is a tax and some people will stop smoking because of it, others will go and smoke illegally without paying their taxes behind the government's backs. And they will smoke secretly against the government. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, judges, teammates, and audience.
Thank you, Ethan, for your information and your well-delivered speech. We will now have the third affirmative speaker, Ms. Haley.
Excuse me, Madam Chairwoman. Can we have 2 minutes prep time, please?
Your 2 minutes will commence as soon as you see the breakout room.
Yes, thank you.
You are welcome. All right, as the third affirmative speaker prepares her constructive speech as well as rebuttals against what the negative team has presented thus far. Seating up, I have learned, hope you guys are learning some information. I have learned some new information, which is quite interesting. And the purpose of all of this is to gather information and expand our knowledge, which the children are doing a very, very good job of relaying the information that they have gathered, as well as trying their best to refute and rebut points raised by their colleagues. Welcome back, participants. We now have the third affirmative speaker summarizing her team's points, Ms. Haley Ramsey.
Good evening, Chairwoman, judges, and fellow debaters. My name is Haley Ramsey, and welcome for the last time from today's affirmation team. Our topic is smokers should pay a health tax, and our point of class is social because this will benefit the society. It is now time for me to summarize what this team has said. Today's affirmation team told us that cigarette smoking is unhealthy for smokers and people around them. Having a health tax will help the smokers pay for health care when they need it. Smoking is a costly habit. The health tax will hopefully make the smoker quit smoking because of an additional charge. The health tax will help with less cancer patients. More than 1 billion people smoke cigarettes, and smoking is the #1 cause of preventable diseases and death. Okay, now for my rebuttal for what Ethan had said. They said that smoking will prevent a disease, but smoking will cause still many diseases, leading the smoker to death. If the smoker keeps money, that will lead them to buy more cigarettes instead of giving it to a health tax will help with paying for the health care when they fall ill. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Haley. We will now have the final speaker of today's debate, Ms. Jasira Thomas, the third negative speaker.
Excuse me, Madam Chairwoman, I would like to request my last minutes to prep time, sorry.
Your last minute is granted. You will see the breakout room appear on your screens.
Hello, my lovely.
What does your students learn in basic illustration class?
In basic illustration, my students learn to take basic shapes, square, triangle, that sort of thing, and put them together to make recognizable objects or to make interesting people with nice characters. For example, in level 1, we try to recognize the shapes in other people's artwork, so that's easy for us to recreate. In level 2, we take the stuff we learned in level 1 and we turn them into lively, whimsical characters with very silly, sometimes very expressive faces. And in level 3, we draw together, we learn from each other, we bounce ideas off each other, and in doing so, we learn to apply art to real life.
Question 2. Why is drawing important?
Drawing is important because it not only gives us a way to look at the world differently, it also gives us an avenue to express ourselves to other people, to learn things, not just drawing now. You can learn anything through art, but do it in an exciting way.
Question 3. Miss?
Yes?
Do children become real-life artists when they finish your classes?
Well, first of all, as long as you're expressing yourself creatively, you're already an artist. So my students come as artists. what we learn in the class is new skills, new techniques to polish the things that we already know, so that once they finish the class and they practice, they have the option of being a paid artist. But it's all about them and their dedication, and if they choose to do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you for your intelligent questions.
Welcome back, participants. We will now have our final speaker for this evening's debate, the third negative speaker, Ms. Jasira Thomas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, Madam Chair, judges, moderator, fellow debaters, and listening audience. My name is Jasira Thomas, and I'm the third speaker on the negative team. As you already know, the topic for today's debate is whether smokers should. Our team of firm view that smokers should not pay health tax. I've been tasked with the privilege of summarizing this debate. Take a look at the arguments of both sides and you will see what the outcome of the debate actually is. Firstly, let me address some points made by the affirmative team. This first speaker on the affirmative team stated that when smokers pay health tax, they will most likely quit smoking. But I disagree with this statement because researchers have shown that that also raising a health tax for smokers can encourage negative activities such as smuggling, stealing, and even increase in crime. In New York, which has one of the highest health taxes for smokers in the US, a study was done that proved that about 60% of smokers living in that state were smuggling cigarettes illegally instead of quitting smoking. If there was no health tax, there would be no need for smuggling, and there will most likely be a decrease in crime. The second speaker for the affirmative team stated that there will be lower expenditure rates for the government. This, I believe, is not true because when smokers pay health tax, as Christian stated in his debates, it is not guaranteed that it will be used for health benefits. Therefore, this statement that the second speaker made is not true. The third speaker for the affirmative team stated that when smokers smoke, they also affect the people they smoke around. This can be avoided because, as Ethan stated in his first point, there are already signs everywhere one goes saying smoke-free environment, no smoking in a public place. Some smokers respect these signs, but others ignore them. A law has been made that smokers are prohibited to smoke in a public place, and if these orders are bypassed, a fine of $10,000 has to be granted to the offender. However, I believe the fine should be increased by $500 so that persons can understand the seriousness of this law. With this law, everyone is happy, the smoker won't have to pay health tax, and the bystanders won't be negatively impacted. Now I will reiterate some of the arguments articulated by my teammates Ethan and Christian. Christian spoke about the social impacts such as unhealthy lifestyle habits, such as eating fast food and drinking alcohol, which are as unhealthy as smoking. Allocation of health taxes in Trinidad and Tobago, and a clear bias against smokers because it is believed that smokers should pay health tax, while users of fast food and alcohol should be exempt of any form of taxation. He also referenced the fact that in excess of 170 million persons, which is more than half of Americans, suffer from obesity because of fast food, and smoking has been cited as the cause of over 8 million deaths annually. However, smoking is a personal choice and they should not pay health tax. Ethan has highlighted some benefits that can be derived from smoking, example, lowered risk of getting replacement surgery, and the positive impact and relief that it can have on persons diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. These points can have the potential of positively impacting the health system. He has also made the point that currently there are signs everywhere to inform the citizenry that smoking is prohibited in public places. All smokers who have health insurance already pay a premium, which is built into the cost of their insurance costs. As such, it will be unfair and unjust to ask smokers to pay health tax in addition to inflated insurance rates. As I conclude, I believe our arguments were pellucidly clear the reasons why smokers should not pay health tax. Quite frankly, we have also refuted the points put forward by the opposition who argued for the alternative. Madam Chair, judges, moderator, fellow debaters, listening audience, I believe my team has left you with every reason to see why my colleagues and I are the winners of this debate.
Thank you, Jasira, for seeing us out strongly. The judges will now deliberate. Well done to all participants. You have conveyed your points eloquently, succinctly, and have done your absolute best in applying all the theory that you have learned within the past 4 weeks. I congratulate all of you, even though the nature of debate, there has to be a winning team. Remember that all of you are winners today because you have done something that you came into having no knowledge of what to expect or having no prior knowledge of how to even conduct yourselves during a debate. And you guys have conducted yourself quite fine this evening. Perhaps we should send out invitations to the presidential nominees to join our debate classes. You guys have done a wonderful job and you should feel exceptionally proud of yourselves. We'll give the judges time to deliberate, approximately 4 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. Within that time, a poll should pop up for our audience members to vote which team, whether the affirmative team or the negative team, have persuaded them otherwise. Remember, when you're voting, forget your biases, forget your prior knowledge, and just think of the arguments presented by both sides and let that sway your judgments.
Are we ready? Right, so let's go. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing our hands to our heart and taking our foot, we press it into our ankle, our calf, our thigh. Coming into this is our tree pose. And stepping back, right leg. Stepping back, left leg, lift and pressing back into our downward dog.
And what did you notice about Georgiana's mouth when she was making the mare face?
It was like a frown.
Yes, it was like a frown, like pass me straight with your rubbish, right? With a frown, the ends of the mouth curl downward slightly. You don't want to exaggerate and go like this because then that becomes sad.
Almost there, guys. 5 more. 5, 4, probably on 3, let's go jump. 2, guys, I mean, 1 more, the mid stretch, go, and up, yeah.
Are we ready? Right, so let's go. 6, 5, 6, Bringing our hands to our heart and taking our foot, we press it into our ankle, our calf, our thigh. Coming into this is our tree pose and stepping back, right leg, stepping back, left leg, lifting and pressing back into our downward dog.
And what did you notice about Georgiana's mouth when she was making the mare face?
It was like a frown.
Yes, it was like a frown, like pass me straight with your rubbish, right? With a frown, the ends of the mouth curl downward slightly. You don't want to exaggerate and go like this because then that becomes sad.
Almost there, guys. 5 more. 5, 4, good Leon, 3, let's go Leo, let's go jump, 2, guys, I mean, 1 more, don't be scared, you know, left side, go, and up, yeah. Are we ready? Right, so let's go. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing our hands to our heart and taking our foot, we press it into our ankle, our calf, our thigh. Coming into this is our tree pose and stepping back, right leg, stepping back, left leg, lifting and pressing back into our downward dog.
And what did you notice about Georgiana's mouth when she was making the mare face?
It was like a frown.
Yes, it was like a frown, like pass me straight with your rubbish, right? With a frown, the ends of the mouth curl downward slightly. You don't want to exaggerate and go like this because then that becomes sad.
Almost there, guys. 5 more. 5, 4, good Leon, 3, let's go Leo, let's go jump, 2, guys, I mean, 1 more, don't be scared, you know, left side, go, and up, yeah. Are we ready? Right, so let's go. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing our hands to our heart and taking our foot, we press it into our ankle, our calf, our thigh. Coming into this is our tree pose and stepping back, right leg, stepping back, left leg, lifting and pressing back into our downward dog.
And what did you notice about Georgiana's mouth when she was making the mare face?
It was like a frown.
Yes, it was like a frown, like pass me straight with your rubbish, right? With a frown, the ends of the mouth curl downward slightly. You don't want to exaggerate and go like this because then that becomes sad.
Almost there, guys. 5 more. 5, 4, good Leon, 3, let's go Leo, let's go jump, 2, guys, I mean, 1 more, don't be scared, you know, left side, go, and up, yeah.
All right, so the judges are still deliberating. We will convey, and I just want our audience members to bear in mind the judges know what to look out for. They're looking out for key elements of a debate, and the team that's the most persuasive, that takes us through a journey and delivers their points succinctly and clearly, generally is the winning team. And all judges are reminded to leave their biases by the enter button. In this instance, usually it's by the door of the either debating auditorium. At this point, it's the enter button. Leave their biases on the enter button and have an open mind. So before the judges deliver their results, I would like to ask all participants just to stay back at the end, just so we can have a quick talk out and see how we go from there. So we have one of the in-Clubhouse directors, the other in-Clubhouse director, Mr. Osei Wright Alexis, that will be delivering our results for this round.
All right. Can you hear me fine, right? Okay, guys, so thank you very much to the both teams for just participating. I think just being brave enough to do this. As our our instructor Alicia would have said time and time again, it's the first time that most of you all would be embarking on this type of activity. I know nerves would have been running a little high, and you all did wonderfully. You didn't pick up nerves that much. We saw a lot of confidence. We saw a lot of clarity. Clearly, a lot of research was done, so you guys spoke very intelligently on the topics. So I just want to say congratulations on that. I think the team effort was also visible. The breakout sessions before, I could imagine what those rooms must have looked like while you guys were deliberating and trying to come up with some tight arguments. So well done, well done. It was a very good debate, entertaining debate as well. I think I actually learned some very interesting points about knee health through smoking, right? So good job, guys. And the parents, of course, you all would have definitely supported your kids on this this effort. So well done to you guys for including them in the program first of all, and then making sure they would have been prepared and well ready for this evening. So thanks to you guys as well. So in terms of the results, drum roll please. No, any drum rolls? No. What we found is that the team that we came up with as the winning team seemed to, for a few reasons. So one, we looked at the depth of the research that was done and how well that research was articulated. We also looked at how well the speakers would have created a roadmap for the listeners. I think important point is that the listeners have to be able to go on a journey with the speaker. And the winning team did a very good job. All members did a good job of carrying you through that journey to understand where they were coming from. And their delivery was very strong, as well as their rebuttals of the other team's arguments. And definitely, strong closing arguments as well. So without further ado, I would like to give the scores. And the affirmative team came up with 75 out of 100, while the negative team came up with 85 out of 100. So negative team would have been the winners for this debate, and congratulations to all the members of the negative team. You guys did an exceptional job, taking nothing away from the affirmative team. I think, as I said, this experience can only help you guys, in the future. It can help you grow confidence, putting together arguments, and just taking away whatever you could from it. So congratulations to you as well. But as seen on screen, the crown and the trophy and the confetti all goes to the opposing team. So thank you very much, guys, and well done, well done, well done. All right. So I don't know if you all, we're gonna have any celebratory drinks or anything. No? Okay, good. So guys, thank you very much for coming on this evening to this presentation. It's the second installment, and I want to thank our very hardworking and poised and proficient instructor, Mrs. Alicia. I think she did a wonderful job as usual, not just with this event, but with the entire class as usual. I think the guys all learned a lot. I think that I think this debate class is just a priceless offering of the Clubhouse. So thank you very much, Mrs. Alicia. I really appreciate that. And of course, it would be remiss of me not to put a plug in, as we have so many parents and kids here. Patricia already spoke about the plans for this week in terms of the games night tomorrow and the parents night on Saturday. I think what we have in store for both activities or events will be very, very exciting. We have some really nice games for the kids and some really interesting discussion planned for the parents. And I think just generally, otherwise, okay, we have some promo images here. Just otherwise, I want to encourage you all to, or just remind you all of the purpose of the Clubhouse, remembering that our goal is to be that place where kids can find balance, kids can, especially during this time where it's all about academics and virtual academics to boot. You know, we really want to be able to offer that place for holistic development. And I think that this class, this course, and this event shows that there can be growth. We've seen improvement on some of the kids from day one to now. And us as the administrators of this thing, you know, we're really pleased with what we've seen, and we even firmer in our you know, conviction that what we're doing is a good thing. So we want more. We want, you know, current members to share with your friends, share with your family, let them know that, listen, you know, there is room and there's scope for a lot of growth and development through most of the courses we offer here. So I just wanted to make that plug as well, and encourage you all. Registration is open now. Make sure and register. We have a host of new activities coming up for the next cycle as well. Okay, so any issues, any questions, feel free to call us at the office or send us an email. And we, you know, just want to close by saying thank you so much again, guys, for being here and for making this a wonderful experience. All right, so congrats again to the winning team. Any final words, Ms. Alicia?
I want to say thank you to all the participants and resonate everything that Osei has said. You guys have performed exceptionally well. You have taken on board and absorbed a lot of information. I expected and demanded so much of you all. For most of the time, I forgot how young our participants were. I totally blocked that out of my head. I treated all of them as though they were far beyond their years, and that showed tonight in the way that they delivered their speeches, the time that they took to do their research, and also I can't thank the parents enough for putting up with, I wouldn't say my demands, but my very high expectation. I wouldn't say last minute, but impromptu activities. That's all of what, as you could see, the ability to perform impromptu is a key component of being successful in a debate, and getting your children to excel and exceed at impromptu speaking, impromptu rebuttals, impromptu deliveries will make them well-rounded and holistic individuals in their future life. So thank you very much, parents, for signing up your kids for this course, and I encourage you to continue to sign your kids up for further activities at the Clubhouse. As Osei as well as Pat have mentioned, it is all about holistic development of your child. Children learn in many different ways, not just academic. You could learn academically through a variety of different channels and plug all of that back in to the traditional subjects that you learn at school. So please continue to support your children and support the activities that they will all participate in Clubhouse. So thank you parents, and well done to all the participants today. You guys have done exceptionally well, and I am very pleased that you applied all the theory that you absorbed in such a short space of time. So well done to you guys. And thank you, Christian, one of our former participants, for joining us. She would have participated in the first debate. She said she's exceptionally proud of all of your debaters. So well done to everyone. So thank you very much. We won't keep you guys any further, but if participants could just stay back for 5 minutes, if they have any questions or anything like that, or want to congratulate each other, please stay back for 5 minutes as your parents and other audience members depart. Have a good evening, everyone.
GG, that's all I have to say.
Okay, so guys, just hold on for a few minutes. Let's just get the, let's have a forum for the members only, okay? And then you all could do your, your celebrations.
All right, guys, 1 second. Huh?
Hi, guys. Are we all there? Are they still audience members? Hi guys, I just wanted to say in our little closed forum without any extra audience members, a super well done. Can we all have our cameras turned on? Well done to everyone. You guys did exceptionally well. I am so proud of all of you. As I said, even though there needs to be a winning team, all of you are winners this evening, and I hope you guys have equally learned from each other and that you guys have understood your strengths, but not only your strengths, but also areas where you can improve, where you could see how the delivery of some of your colleagues who were stronger, who could improve. So please do take that on board. Do not feel a bit, what should I say, upset if your team did not win. As I said, you all are winners, but I just wanted to say how proud I am of all of you. Some of you exceeded my expectations. Those of you who were in class with, not to put her on the spot, with Anushri, we should all be very proud of Anushri. Those of you who have class with her, which is Haley, Laurelie, Zachary. Anushri's not here. Unfortunately, she probably fell off, but those of you who've had class with her knows how far she has come along with her public speaking, and she is possibly the most improved public speaker. So we should all be very proud of Anushri, and if you do get to see her in another class or have her contact details, please send her a message, let her know that she's done an exceptional job as well. But each of you did wonderful. Elijah, very composed, very poised delivery. You paced yourself. You did such a good job. From being a little chatterbox, you composed yourself. You contained the knowledge that you have of smoking. Ethan, thank you for all the information that I myself will go to check. And if I find them incorrect, I will send you a message. But thank you for all the information and knowledge that you have imparted on us. Each of you have delivered information and educated all of us, the judges alike, as well as the audience members, with key information that we would not have necessarily known. And all of that is different components of debate that you would have picked up on, learning information that you would not have necessarily learned but for a resolution. Okay, so I hope to see you guys soon. Again, this ends our course, but please do sign up for the research course. Do sign up for the research course so you can better enhance your research skills. Obviously, you would have done some aspect of research, clearly, but the research course will help you refine and improve your research skills and hopefully help you be able to conduct some basic research a lot faster, because you would know exactly where to go, how to decipher information that's relevant, not so relevant, and other sources. The administrator of Clubhouse on my behalf will send your parents further information. If I know, Laurelie, I am anticipating what your question is. If there is I'll let you ask the question, Laurelie.
Hi, Miss. So I just want to thank my team members and you, and I will always want to thank the Clubhouse crew members and everyone just for having this great, awesome debate session. And thank you for my team, I miss everybody. So just please.
Thank you, Laurelie. You are most welcome, and you a very refined team captain, very refined and poised team captain, and thank you for working with your teams. All the captains did an exceptional job. I think all the captains recognized and understood the strength of each participant to put you in the right speaking order, because that was something you guys had to discuss and decide amongst yourselves. Although I imparted some guidance, it was up to you guys to make that decision, and that shows your leadership skills, your team working skills, okay, and the ability to share responsibilities and tasks. You guys did that very, very well. So very, very well done. And I hope to see, if not some of you, but all of you in the research class that will be in the next cycle. All right.
So, Alyssa, just allow me to step in for a minute here. So I firstly want to say, Lordy, thank you so very much. Your words of encouragement do a lot for us here. Believe it or not, guys, we really do value your feedback, good and bad. Guys, but you all did an exceptional job, and we're not just saying that just because we're saying it, because I see it. In addition to, besides being so well presented, guys, I love the pearls. Somebody had on pearls. I love your pearls, yes, girlfriend. I love it. All right. So in addition to just the how you presented yourself, you're most welcome. And to the gentlemen, you all look so handsome in your suits. Ethan, well done. All right. You all, I think it says a lot about you being strong and resilient individuals. It is not an easy job. I know that it's a lot of pressure. We put pressure on ourselves. We think that people might put pressure on us, the expectations from Miss Emily, your mother, your father, but you all were able to shoulder it. And I want you all to know that it's quite normal if at times you felt as though you just weren't going to make it and you didn't want to do it. That's normal. But the fact that you all saw it through and came out tonight and just did the absolute best, I think says a lot. So keep that in mind. You all are stronger than you all really think you are. And let this be a stepping stone for any challenges, any projects, any issues that you might face, guys. The fact that you went through Miss Emily and in Clubhouse Debate, it means that you are capable of doing any and everything. Yeah, so well done. I just really had to say that. We will be talking to Miss Emily to see if we could get some more debate events going, because now we have a host of alumni from this debate club. So I know that everybody's raring and haven't seen the talent tonight. I know that the ones from the previous cycle wants to come and battle with the best of the best. So we will have a chat with her. But as she said, guys, there's a research course that you'll get to see her and hear her accents again next cycle. But you need to just go really quick because it's just 12 seats, right? But guys, there are the opportunities to stay involved in Clubhouse, and for sure your parents will get this information. But just in case it takes a while for the information to get to them, you feel anyhow to present your best argument to your parents, mom and dad, why I should continue with the Clubhouse. All right. So well done. That's it from me. I know most of you guys by your names based on registration, but it's so really, really good to see the faces here. And again, well done.
Oh, I'm still muted. Fantastic job, guys. Thank you, Pat, Coach Pat. The fun night tomorrow, don't forget the fun night tomorrow between 6 to 8. I will try my best to tune in, to log in, to see your beautiful faces again. But please, please come and join us from 6 p.m. tomorrow, 6 to 8 p.m. tomorrow for some fun activities. Okay, so make sure to remind your parents of that. But you guys are to get the login information for that. But I will see you guys at some point tomorrow. It might be a short pop-in to play 1 or 2 games, but I look forward to seeing all of you then. So go celebrate.
Miss Alicia, one thing I know that we have some very, very hard workers in the background, guys. You'll see a blank screen. Oh, yes. You'll see in Clubhouse General, in Clubhouse Moderator, or just in Clubhouse. But if we have our moderators, guys, you'll a big thank you to them. They really, really work behind the scenes to ensure that Miss Emily does a great job and puts on an excellent class for you guys. So can we have, if you're able,
can you turn on your videos?
Afia, Auntie Liz.
You turn on your videos, please.
So let's see if we can spotlight you guys. Actually, you could spotlight yourself because you're already the moderators.
So we have Liz. Liz would have been the moderator for a Thursday class. So Haley, Laurelie, Zachary, and Anushri. This would have been the other screen, black screen that you would have seen, which is Liz. She was moderated today and have moderated all of your classes. So now you get to see who in Clubhouse black screen is. And so thank you very, very much to Liz for always supporting us. If I need anything, she was there and she helped this debate go seamless today. Thank you so much, Liz. And we have Afia, guys. So our Tuesday, Wednesday class, this was your moderator. You have only seen her black screen. This is Afia. So she has helped us tremendously, sharing screens, doing break room if and when necessary. But they were the ones that were putting you in and out the break rooms today during the debate. So now you could put a face to the black screen. So thank you very much to them. Without them, I will not be able to conduct the course because I still don't know how to do a breakout room on my own. All I have to do is talk. So thank you very much, guys, for giving me the opportunity and the capacity to speak uninterrupted and the participants to feel as though they're in a classroom environment, albeit virtual. So thanks very much, guys, for your support. And whoever my research moderator will be, it will be easy. But thank you guys for putting up with me. I know I have expected a lot of you from you all, and that clearly shows today by your wonderful performance. So well done, guys. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Yes, Zachary?
I really enjoyed the debates. I'll be looking forward to doing more debates if you make up your mind. So bye, Miss.
Thank you very much, Zachary. You did a wonderful job. Thank you very much.
Bye.
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 See you guys tomorrow.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.